first time at a time we can represent it in a 0. Then here arrival time, which one is the shortest job first? 0 is the shortest, so we can take a value of 3. P4 3. I will add it here. Then we can check it here, which one is the smallest shortest job. Then which one is the shortest? P3 is the shortest value, but in your burst value this one is the more. 8, we have a 8, so we can search it in the next one. 2 compared to P3, this one is the P1 is the short, so we can take this value. Here we can return the P1 and burst value is 6. 6 plus 3 9. Then P1 we can complete it, so we can go for the P2. Otherwise we can compare with the P3 and the P1. P3 and the P1, this one is the P1 is the shortest, so we can take this one. Next we can compare with the P4 and the P4 we can complete it, and the P1 also we can complete it. Remaining P2, P3 and P4. P2, P3, P4 we can remaining. In P2, P3, P5, which one is the shortest? Which one is the shortest? Here P2 is the burst time. This value is shortest, so we can take here P2. 9 plus 2 11. Then this one also finish P2. Remaining P3 under the P4, it will be P3 under the P5 value will be remaining. This one under this one. In P3 under the P5, which is the smallest? P5 is the smallest, so we take a P5. P5 burst value is 4. 11 plus 4 15. Then remaining thing, which one we can have? P3. This one is the last one. P3 value is 8. 15 plus 8 23. Then we can calculate how to calculate the waiting time. How to calculate waiting time? Waiting time is equal to process time minus arrival time. Process time minus arrival time. Process time minus arrival time. Which one is the process time? This one we can call it as the process time. Arrival time means we can take this value. Then first we should return the value P1, P2, P3, P4, P5 value. First P1 value is process value 3. We should see it in a left side. So 3. Here arrival time minus 2 is equal to 1. Next we can see the P2 value. P2 value is 9. Then here P2 value is minus 5 is equal to 4. P3 value. P3 value is 15. Here P3 value is 1. So 14. P4 value 0. Then arrival time also 0. 0 minus 0, 0. Then last P5 value is 11 minus P5 value 11, then arrival time is 4, so 7. Then next we can find out the average value. How to find out the average value? Average value is equal to 0 plus 1 plus P1, P2, P3 divided by 5. This method. 0 1 plus 4 plus 14 plus 0 plus 7. Total 26 divided by 5. Answer is 5.2 millisecond. How to find out the SJF non-primitive value? Non-primitive algorithm. This one. This problem they will not ask in your exam. Simply I will explain you in your purpose. If you it is used for the next days, so I will explain this one. Then next one is primitive algorithm. Next one is primitive algorithm. In your primitive algorithm also I have a question here. So same question I will solve the problem of primitive algorithm. Primitive algorithm, it is a job for put into the ready queue. As they come, the process with the shortest burst time begin with the execution. If a process with even the shortest burst time arrives, the current process is removed or permitted from the execution to the shortest job allocated the CPU cycle. This one is the question P1, P2, P3 process, burst time and arrival time. This same question only I will solve the problem. Then first we should return the process. Which one is the shortest? 0. Arrival time. First we can check the arrival time. So P4, process 4 is the shortest one. First you should return the P4. P4 here. First value always 0. Then P4 value is 3. Then which one is the shortest? We can compare with the P3 and the P1. P1 we can compare with the P1 is the shortest. So in your 6 we can take a 1 value. Remaining things will be there in here only. It means 6. It means I will take a value 5 out of 6. 5 out of 6 is 1. It means we should return P1 plus 1 value. Here we can get the 1 value. So P3, 3 plus 1, 4. Then next we can go for the compare with the P3, P5 and the P1. We can compare with the P3, P5 and the P1 value. Which one is the less value we can got? Which one? P5. 4. So this one also we can take directly we can take on. So here we can take a 1 value. So here we should return 3 out of 4 is, it means 3 out of 4 means 1. We should return here P5, 5 plus 1, 4 plus 1, 5. Here we can remain the 3 value, here we can remain the 5 value. Here we can remain in the 5 value, here we can remain in the 3 value. Then we can check the next P3, P5, P2. P3, P5, P2 value we can search. In your P3, P5, and the P2, which one is the less value? P2 is the less value. So we should take a P2, 5 plus 2, 7. Then next we can search the P3, P5, P1 value. We can search it. P5, P3, P5, P1. So which one is the less value? We can got this one, 3. So we can return the 5. 7 plus 3, 10. This one also we can finish. Remaining, which one we can have? Then P1 under the P3. This value we can, remaining thing we can have. Next we can compare with the P1 under the P3. P1 is the less one. So we should return P1. Then 10 plus 5, 15. Then next one remaining thing we can have P3. Then 8. So we can got the 15 plus 3, 23. Next we can calculate the value. How to find out the waiting time? Waiting time. In your non-primitive algorithm, we can take a direct value. It means this one is the shortest, means we can take this value. But in your primitive value, we can take which one is the smallest. We can compare with the both, and we can take a single value. And afterwards, we can join with the rounds will be more. This one primitive algorithm. In waiting time, first we should return the P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. Same thing here also. We should, this primitive algorithm we can take another formula. In your non-primitive algorithm we can use the process minus arrival. Process minus arrival time. Here this one process minus arrival. But in your non-primitive algorithm, process minus arrival. In your primitive algorithm, waiting time is equal to total waiting time minus number of millisecond process minus arrival time. It means how much time we can take on. This one we can show the number of millisecond process execution. Number of millisecond process execution minus arrival time. Waiting time is equal to total waiting time minus number of millisecond process execution minus arrival time. This one is the formula of your primitive algorithm. I will take a total waiting time. What is the total waiting time? This one is the total waiting time. It means this one we can call it as a process. First, we should return P1 value. What is the P1 value? 3 minus arrival time. 2, 0. Plus 6. Why? Because we can use the bus time also. We can this one out of 6 we can take on. So we can add it the value. So 3 minus this one is the This one is the arrival time minus non-execution method. So 3 minus 2 plus 6 is equal to 7. Then next one is the P2 value. P2 value is 5. Then arrival time also we can have 5. Here we cannot take any out of 6, out of 4 we not taken. So we can directly compare or directly minus the value 5 minus. Here we can use the process time minus arrival time. When we can take out of 6, out of 5, we can go and do like this. Then P3 value also we can take directly. So which one is the P3 value? 15 minus, then arrival time is 1, it means 14. P4 value is 0. Then arrival time also 0, it means 0. P5 value is 4. Which one is the first one we can got? Now that one we can consider. We can have a number of P5 also we can use. Also we can take which one is the first one we can take, and that value we can take P5. Then then arrival time also 4 plus, then out of 4 we can use. So this value 4 minus 4, 0 plus, out of answer is 4. Then 7 plus 0 plus 14 plus 0 plus 4 divided by 5. This one is the average value. Average value you know already, P1, P2, P3 divided by 5. How many process we can use? Divided by 5. It means 25 divided by 5. 25 divided by 5 means we can use the 5.0 millisecond. 5.0 millisecond. In your shortest job, first, what is the advantages? Means HF is a frequently used long-term scheduling. It reduces the average waiting time. It over the first come first serve algorithm. In your SJF method gives the lowest average waiting time for the specific set of process. It is appropriate from the job running to the batch. Then runtime we can have a advanced this one. In your batch system, long-term scheduling, burst time we can estimate it by the job description. In your shortest job scheduling, we need to predict the value for the next burst time, which one we can have. Then probably optimal, which we can regard the average turnaround time we can used. What is the disadvantage? Means it is a job completion time must be know the earlier, but it is hard to predict. It is often used to the batch system for the long-term scheduling. SJF cannot be implement the CPU scheduling from the short term. This algorithm may cause the very long turnaround time, or the starvation is required the knowledge how long the process job will be runtime. It is hard to know the length of upcoming CPU request. Everything the disadvantages of the SJF algorithm. In your SJF algorithm is a process having the smallest execution time. We can choose in the next execution. Its scheduling associated with the each job as the unit under the time to complete. This algorithm it's help to batch type processing and wait for the job to complete the not critical. In your SJFs, we can use the two methods, non-primitive and the primitive. Non-primitive scheduling, once the CPU cycle will allocate the process hold the till reach the waiting state and terminated. Primitive SJF scheduling, job for put into the ready queue as they come.